In some parts of our state, volunteers with the Civil Air Patrol continue to fly out of West Columbia to give first responders a bird's eye view of the damage, and take a look at it there for yourself. Our Chad Mills flew with one of those crews this afternoon, and Chad, I know that you have covered them earlier this week, but it had to be a completely different experience for you to see that for yourself.
It certainly was, and to some extent video pictures really don't even do it justice. The flooding there in part of the state. Two majors with the Civil Air Patrol took us up and showed us what it is like working from the air, as they have been doing for most of this week, working tirelessly, I might add. What I saw is nothing short of heartbreaking and breathtaking. A portion of the state still underwater after Matthew, a town that's been consumed by a rising river.
Runway 11 cleared for takeoff.
For the past few days, Major Steve Askew and Major Randy Renz have spent a lot of time above the Palmetto State.
We've had a pretty busy week, and we had a number of aircraft from adjoining states that came in to assist us.
Both are volunteers with the South Carolina wing of the Civil Air Patrol.
We're an auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force.
In this flight, the two gave WIS a bird's eye view of an area of the state still reeling after Hurricane Matthew.
What you'll see is a town that basically, for probably 2 or 3 feet, probably deeper in places, underwater.
After the short flight, it was hard to miss the devastation. The small Marion County town of Nichols doesn't seem like a town at all right now.
And you certainly feel for those people that are affected. Unlike us, they probably can't see what all's been impacted.
Homes and businesses are surrounded by water. Fields and pastures are completely submerged. Each structure or car seems like an island. All after heavy rain during Hurricane Matthew caused nearby rivers to rise drastically.
This is not my home state, but it's hard not to be sad for the people involved. You see the houses, and it'll take them years to recover.
I'm sure that there's a lot of hurt in that community, and a lot of thought about how they're going to recover from such a disaster for that area.
For days, it's been the job of the Civil Air Patrol to monitor conditions from the air and to take a lot of pictures and relay that info to first responders on the ground. Majors Askew and Renz also helped troopers reverse lanes on I-26 before the storm.
We did about a 4-hour orbit between Columbia and Interstate I-95.
It's tiring work that these two will keep doing for free.
It's probably the best value in the country.
To help the hundreds still in crisis below.
The Civil Air Patrol wing commander tells me that the number of missions they're flying is winding down, but they're going to continue to keep the pieces in place in case they are needed in the coming days. Judy.
Chad, listening to them talk there, it sounds like there was some emotion in their voices. They were taking that all in.
Right. They are from Seneca. They actually worked the flood last year. Of course, no one wants to make this an annual event. But again, it's good to have those pieces in place here in the state if they're needed.
Absolutely. Cannot thank them enough for their service.
And not only that, people from Indiana, Maryland, Virginia, other states helping out as well.
That is fantastic. Good to know. Great work.
From Jamie, that bird's eye view of the area is also what the Civil Air Patrol from the United States Air Force Auxiliary is using to record damage. There are 8 aircrafts flying up and down the coastline, photographing and documenting everything. Officials say they have been trained for this and are ready for the task ahead.
The request of the Georgia Emergency Management Agency and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, we have been flying aerial photography surveys of affected areas of the coastline. Essentially, we will be photographing for the emergency management agencies every square mile of the coast from basically the Florida to the South Carolina border.
Well, Scott, the Florida wing of the Civil Air Patrol has been working since Friday and will continue to work, taking thousands of pictures of Florida's coastline, of the hardest hit areas, from Key West all the way up to the Florida-Georgia border. For more than 2 decades, mission pilot Terry Jordan has flown for Civil Air Patrol.
We are serving our community, serving our state. We're serving our nation by helping to do this kind of work.
And pilots like Jordan, based out of Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport, are all volunteers. The goal? Capturing images from 1,500 feet in the air to help the federal government assess Hurricane Matthew's destruction.
Civil Air Patrol is one of the leading agencies that provides support to the state of Florida as well as FEMA to support and provide aerial photography as well as first response in identifying potential damage.
Florida Wing Commander Henry IRIZARRY says these planes are equipped with a camera. The images taken are uploaded to the Federal Emergency Management Agency so they can assess what areas need help. Observers on the plane can also determine if anyone needs immediate assistance.
Whether signaling us or standing above their homes, trying to signal the aircraft flying by.
Since Friday, Florida Wing flew 45 sorties from operational bases all over the state and shot over 17,000 pictures, a system that IRIZARRY says is cost-effective for all involved.
One of our flights is about $150 per hour. All our pilots are volunteers. The same service by a private company or by another government agency would cost about $10,000 an hour.
For Cadet Alexander English, the job of taking pictures is of the utmost importance.
We'll look from pictures in the past, and then we'll take our pictures based upon what we see would be damaged from those pictures.
Now, the mission can last up to several weeks, but it all depends on the requirements received from the state and from FEMA. Scott, back to you.